Hello all, I'm Bhavna Aaron. Let's begin with the second part of class 6th lesson 2, part 2 of history, from hunting gathering to growing food. In this part we are going to talk about the rock paintings and what they actually tell us. As on this page you can see, this is an image of Bhimbetka cave present in Madhya Pradesh. This is an oldest site with caves and rock shelters. People choose their natural caves because they provided shelter to them from the rain, heat, and wind. These rock shelters are very much closer to the Narmada Valley. Now talking about the rock paintings, during ancient times, earliest people used to carve paintings on the walls of the caves. Do you know why? This shows wild animals drawn with great accuracy and skill during the ancient times. Now question arise over here is what is sites? Sites are the places made, used and left behind by the people, as these are or can be found on the surface of the earth during under buried under the earth also, or sometimes even underwater. So sites are the places where the remains of the things were found, like tools, pots and buildings, by the archaeologists. Now moving to the new subheading, that is finding about the fire. On page 13 on map 2 there are several places or paleolithical sites are being mentioned by red triangle, like Bimitka Cave, Kurnool Cave, or Humski, whereby the Kurnool Cave is a site where the traces of ash have been found during that time, which suggests that people at that time are very much familiar with the use of fire, as fire could have been used for many things, as a source of light also, to roast the meat and to scare away the animals. Basically, period has been divided into three parts, that is Paleolithic period, then Mesolithic period, and Neolithic period. What does Paleo means? Paleo means old and Lithic means stone. So basically, Lithic over here is a word which comes from a Greek word that is stone, and Paleo means old. Okay, so Paleolithic period is a period from 2 million years ago to 12,000 years ago. During this time, the stone tools are very big in size, which is being used by the hunters and gatherers. Then Mesolithic period is from the period time period 12,000 to 10,000 years ago. During this period, the stone tools are tiny in nature, that is why also called microliths, and were used to make saws and sickles. But the older time varieties of tool continue to be in the use during this period. Now the last is the Neolithic period. Neolithical period is starts from the 10,000 years ago. This is the period of Neolithical period. Now, regarding a changing environment, around 12,000 years ago, there were a major changes in the climate of the world has been begin with the shift of relatively warm conditions. In many areas, this led to the development of grassland, that is, animal that survived on grass. Those who hunted these animals now have started following them, learning about their food habits and their breeding seasons also. It is likely that this helped people to start thinking about the herding and rearing these animals themselves. And during this time, the fishing also became an important source. And simultaneously, the beginning of the farming and herding also began during this period, as this was a time period when several grain bearing grasses, including wheat, barley, and rice, grew naturally in different parts of the subcontinent, due to which this may lead them people to think about the growing plants on their own. In this way, they people became farmers during that period. Like men and women and children probably collected these grain as food and learned where they can grow and ripened off easily. Regarding the herding process, how they became the herders, people also get attracted and then tame the animals by leaving the food for them near their shelters only. The first animal to be named was the wild ancestors of dog. Do you know this? The animals such as sheep, goat, cattle, and also the pig lived in herds, and most of them ate grass. Often, people protected most of them from the attack of the wild animals, and this is how they become herders. Now, moving to the next topic, that is domestication. What does domestication means? Domestication is the name given to the process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Very often, plants and animals that are tended by the people became different from wild animals and plants. This is because people select plants and animals for domestication purpose only. For example, they select those plants and animals that are not prone to disease. They also select plants that yield large size grain and have strong stalk capable of bearing the weight of the ripe grain. Another example regarding the animal is the teeth and horns of the wild animal. As you can see the image in the example also in this particular page, that the teeth and the horns of the wild animals are usually much larger than those of domesticated animals. Domestication is a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world. It begins about 12,000 years ago. Virtually all plants and animal produce that we use as food today is a result of domestication only. This is all about part 2. Do like, share and subscribe my channel if you like my video. Thank you so much.